flag for me right there.
Yeah.
That said to me, this person should not be president. People have bled and died under this flag. People have fought for freedom under this flag. And for you to say, I don't want to wear it because I don't want to make that kind of patriotic statement, well, I'll tell you something. My thought was, I don't want you in our house. We don't want you living in our White House. And by the way, on the first Tuesday in November of 2012, we're going to serve him his eviction papers. And he's going to go back to Chicago or Hawaii or Indonesia or wherever he feels most comfortable. But he's leaving the White House.
Why can't we do it now?
He's leaving the White House. Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Look, we have got to deal with this because we are facing a very, very horrific cultural situation. Now, look, it's not only race, but this president. Now, I know there's a lot of argument. Is he a Muslim? I can tell you this. He certainly does have a lot of affection and favor for Islam. That seems to be his priority. I've heard him talk about Islam in ways I've never heard him talk about America. Well, Christianity, I don't even think about that with him. I really don't. I mean, because that's a joke. Do you know what one of his biggest, most enthusiastic constituents is? Atheists. Atheists love it. Why? Well, Bill Maher said it. Bill Maher said, he's moving to the center, kind of like he's a Christian. That's what Bill Maher said. I mean, Bill Maher likes him because Bill Maher said he's not a Christian. I like him. I don't like Christians. I like him. But this whole Islamic thing of speaking to the Islamic world and bowing to the Islamic world and do you remember this statement? America is one of the largest Islamic countries in the world. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking to myself, which America is he talking about? What, this one? Well, maybe he's talking about some other America included in it. Remember when he said, I've traveled to all 57 states? Right. Yeah. Maybe that was the one he was saying, one of those Islamic states he was talking about. But look, we are not an Islamic country. And anybody can come to this country and live out their lives in peace. But we don't want anybody coming to our country trying to convert it into some sort of Islamic caliphate or implementing a Sharia law. That is not what we want for the United States of America. People accuse me because I'm a Christian. They say, well, you want a theocracy. I do not. I don't want the government telling anybody they need to be a Christian, they need to be a Muslim, or anything else. I want every American free to choose. Now, as a preacher, I will certainly try to persuade you that Christianity is the way, but I don't want government involved in that. I want every individual free. In fact, God wants that. Every individual free to make their own choice. But what we're facing right now is a situation where slowly but surely Sharia law is creeping into our culture. Had one judge declared a guy not guilty even after he beat his wife because he said, well, he did that under Sharia law. He did that under the law of Islam. I mean, it's crazy. And that's where I think this president, given his druthers, would like to see us go. You know, he's made statements, said we need to make sure we implement taqiyya, that we honor taqiyya, which is Muslim giving. And a lot of that giving is directed toward terrorist-type organizations. And he wants to protect that. He said the sweetest sound he'd ever heard was the call to Muslim prayer in the evening. Yeah. These are his words, not mine. Yeah. And this is a Christian. I mean, you know, you'd like to hear him say, the sweetest sound I've ever heard is Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. But no, that wasn't it. Well, we need to stand up for who we are. This country was birthed in Judeo-Christian values and ethics. That's what our founding fathers, even the ones people claim weren't actually Christians, they made their reference to the Bible. I'm talking about Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin. They made reference to the Bible. And during the Constitutional Convention, Ben Franklin was the one who stood up and said, listen, every time we've had problems, we have turned to God in prayer, and we better start turning to God in prayer now. That was Ben Franklin. I say sometimes, you know, I take one of these people that they claim weren't Christians over some of the Christians that I meet today. Because that's who we are. That's where